Good morning, Starshine. This is Madar from Song of Stones, and I am a crystal whisperer, which means I listen for the stones that are singing for you, and I um, also hear their messages and pass them along to my clients and um, to those who I happen to be getting messages for. So I'm here today with this beautiful shungite sphere. And the reason I am talking to you about this shungite sphere today is because I had a dream over the weekend on Sunday. And I shared about the dream in my newsletter, but in case you guys are not subscribed to the newsletter, I thought I would come in and talk about it. I had a strong response to the dream, so I thought I would share it here too. So in the dream, I was stealing 5 heavy black spheres from my friend when I was over visiting with her. And I was stealing them right from under her nose. And I had them with me when she walked me out to the car. And when I woke up, my first sense was that those spheres were shungite. And my friend's been going through some rough physical issues. And I feel like these shungite spheres came to me in my dream in order to, it was a message, it was a medicine dream. So there's many different kinds of dreams, but the medicine dreams, the dreams with messages and the dreams with medicine are distinctive. They're very different. So one of the things that came to me when I was contemplating this dream, so why was I stealing shungite in the dream? What was that all about? And this friend of mine is not that into, she's not into crystals, she's not into the woo-woo stuff. So when I was thinking about why I was showing up and stealing these spheres from her and what came to me was that I have this stone being that is has the potential to help her in her healing. And if I don't tell her about it, which I really don't talk to her about crystals so much because I just, if people aren't into it, I don't like to push things. You know, if you're into it, I'm happy to talk about crystals from here till next year. But I tend not to push it onto people who are not interested in it. It's just not my way. So I feel like this dream was saying to me, tell her about it. Just tell her about it, because if you don't tell her about it, it's like you're stealing this from her in a sense. Obviously not literally, but um, in a sense, I have this information, and if I don't share it with her, it's like stealing it away. So I just found that really interesting, and I wouldn't have come to that if I hadn't have sat down and thought about it and checked in with this dream. And I feel like that's, the case for all things in our life when wisdom comes to us, that sometimes we need to create some space and just sit down with the wisdom and 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 you know analyze for sure. Like, it's great to have fun with the facts, and play with how it's connected to things in our life. But more important is sitting down and connecting with the deeper self, having a little meditation with it. And you don't have to go into such a deep state. You can, of course. I always recommend it if you have the um, inclination and the time and the motivation, definitely. But even just spending a couple of minutes of being still and quiet and talking to your higher self, the universe, and posing your question, what does this mean? What is this dream telling me? And then listening. And that's the hard part. This is the hard part of the dream relationship, or the relationship with the universe when you're looking for answers, is just that awkward pause while you're waiting for the answer, and feeling the need to fill that pause with something, or getting anxious and wriggly. Why am I? And I think the reason that we get so wriggly is that we feel like the universe isn't answering us. And then we get into shame and blame. Why isn't the universe answering? Why isn't the universe, what have I done wrong? We always go into that. What have I done wrong? So one of the ways to remedy this is to create a pattern, like a habit of going in and checking in with yourself on a regular basis. And that's one of the reasons I offer the crystal blessings, is to give you guys. I want to be able to be regular with it, and that is my plan going forward. But I do. Let's just leave it at that. My plan is to become more regular with sharing the crystal blessings with you, at least once a week. But I'm not ready to make that a promise yet to you, because if I make it a promise, I want to make sure that I show up for you guys when I say I do. So for now, I'm going to intend to show up once a week for those crystal blessings, so that you guys can have at least one time during the week where you can regularly connect. And you can do it on a daily basis, because I have tons of recordings that are easy to access on YouTube. And you can just go in every day and pick one. It can be the same one too every day for a week, until you feel like you want to go on. Because really it's the habit of connecting on a regular basis, and listening, taking a moment to listen. And you don't need me. and you don't need the crystal blessings. It's just nice to have at the beginning when you're starting something new. It's nice to have um, company and support when you're doing it. But really, you don't need it. I just want to make that clear because one of the things that I advocate is self-trust and knowing how much power you have. Empowering people, especially empowering women, because we've been so disempowered over the centuries. It's changing. We're working on it, but we have to take it upon ourselves to make the effort, to put that effort into ourselves. So one of those ways is the crystal blessings, and I kind of got off base because we're talking about dreams, and that's another way that I work with people. Dreams hold so much medicine, so much gold is in our dreams. It's amazing how much is in there. And I mean, you can see just from the dream that I took a few minutes to talk to you about and to explore a little bit, how much already came up just from the surface. And then if you go deeper, more comes up because I went a little deeper with that dream. Once I realized the connection with the stealing the spheres, then I realized that it was the equinox, the spring equinox, and it just clicked for me. You know, spheres, playing with spheres is what the equinox is. It's an alignment of our planetary bodies. You know, that happens twice a year. And it came through in the dream. It's so magical how we are all so connected to the universe, to each other. And you know, we could go deeper with that. Much deeper. And in fact, you know, I talk a lot about that in the light log post that that came to me several years ago, but I reposted over the weekend because it was so relevant, and I needed to hear what was in there. I mean, it's good to revisit all these insights and wisdoms that come to us from the universe on a regular basis until it becomes part of us. But so there's so much wisdom and medicine in our dreams. I've received things in dreams. I've received literally medicine in my dreams that was so key and pivotal in my well-being and my family's well-being. It's amazing. And had I not listened, I would have missed out on it, or it just would have been harder for me to come upon it. Maybe the universe would have found another way. But it's like, I feel like our dreams are like our first line of communication with ourselves and the universe. One of the first lines. I mean, just direct connection and intuition, and just connecting in and listening on the spot is obviously the first, but it's very, we have so many distractions, and our mind really kicks in. Our critic kicks in and tells us we're being ridiculous. In our dreams, our ego is asleep and our soul is awake. and creating and talking to us. So it's really important for us to connect with that part of ourselves, especially women. It's something that I believe we used to do many years ago, many moons, eons ago, and something that was lost to us is that coming together in circle and sharing our dreams. And I highly encourage women to do that. Come together in circle and share dreams. And I do once in a while put together such circles, and I also work one-on-one. If you're interested, just get in touch and I'll put you on the waiting list for a circle, or we could work one-on-one. It's amazing work. And it's something, it's really, it's not me deciphering your dreams. I don't work that way. What I do is help you to remember how to decipher your own dreams by showing you how to explore them, and how to ask questions, and how to listen in for the answers. It's quite a liberating and freeing process, and it helps us connect more deeply with ourselves and who we are. It's a part of ourselves that we've just ignored for so long, because we're taught that dreams are nonsensical. They don't mean anything. It's just our mind working out issues in our day. But you know what? We know there's more to it than that. We feel the power in our dreams, and that's why so many of us are afraid of our dreams, and yet compelled to find out what our dreams are telling us. It's an interesting dynamic. On one hand, we're afraid of our dreams. On the other hand, we want so much to know what they mean. So even though I wrote to you guys about this, I just wanted to come in today and get a little bit more into the conversation, and share what I came up with, what happened over the weekend with the dream and the blog post, the light log post, in case you are not yet on the mailing list. I had quite a strong response to the dream from people. So I felt it was important to share it here as well. So I leave you with that. And let me show you this beautiful shungite being. I keep shungite everywhere. Shungite is one of these. I just wanted you to get an idea of how big this sphere was. It's a nice size. I do have some on my website if you are feeling drawn to them. And I have shungite in many different forms. It's a big part of my life as a sensitive being, as an empath. It helps me so much when I go out into the world and get exposed to all the toxic energies that are out there. And helping me to stay clear and focused and well in my body. So it's very near and dear to me. I think Shungite is showing up for us right now at this time because so many of us need it. So many of us are remembering our empathic nature and becoming more sensitive to the world as well as more toxins are filling it. So this is the universe's way. There's, whatever we do to harm our environment, the earth sends us gifts and magic and remedies and essences and crystals to help us help ourselves. It's quite amazing if you just knew. Maybe I'll talk about it in another time. If you just knew how much the earth loves us. We'll definitely get into that one of these days. Just feeling that love of the earth. I try and bring that in with the crystal blessings as well. That connection to the earth and the love she has for us. And the crystals remind us. Pick up a crystal and connect, and you will feel that love that comes from the earth. So, on that note, sending you lots and lots of crystal love and many blessings. Have a magical day.